So yeah, as promised, your boy JP, Bull Hog, and we're gonna discuss these topics you're looking at in the screen. First things first, is Melo getting blackballed? Look at what Steven Jackson had to say. The man wasn't too happy.
Yep, I'm always the first to say the realest shit, and I'm always the first to say facts, and all these other shows take it and make it seem like they heard it first on the shows and all this, which is bullshit, but I'm used to it. But let me say this. Me, AI, and a couple other players, they trying to blackball Melo. Why the season just starting? Why they coming up and saying your time with the team is almost up and the season's just starting? You see what I'm saying? They trying to blackball Melo and push him out the league and make sure it looks like he can't play no more, or making sure it looks like every team he goes to he's a problem or he's a cancer on the team in the locker room, which is so far from being true. I can name 50 people Melo better than right now in the NBA. I can name 50 people he a better teammate than. So don't believe this narrative that they're trying to put out there that Melo is just a cancer and he can't play and he just make every team bad. That's BS. I'm telling y'all because I know it from experience. Remember I told y'all that they're trying to blackball Melo and that shit ain't
I don't know how Bull Hog feels, but the problem with Carmelo Anthony, where does a guy like Carmelo Anthony fit? Suppose the NBA teams didn't want to blackball the man. Where is Carmelo Anthony going to go hypothetically? Who can he help? The Lakers? I mean, if he goes to the Lakers, which a lot of people are saying on Twitter that he should go to the Lakers, I don't want to ruin the last topic about the Lakers possibly making the NBA Finals or not, but I don't see Carmelo Anthony helping the Lakers a lot. So when you look at the situation, Bull Hog, I wanted to ask you, man, where do you see Carmelo Anthony as a fit, or do you just think that teams are just blackballing the man?
Well, you look at players like Vince Carter and players who've been playing for quite some time, right? Players who know that they want to win a ring, but no championship teams really want them on their roster right now. So if he still has love for the game, I would go to a young team, try to help a young core be that vet coming off of the bench and being that second voice to the coaching staff. Kind of like how Vince Carter does for the Hawks, right? So do I think he's being blackballed? I don't. And I think that players are just saying that because they're cool with Carmelo and they got his back. They don't want him to look bad, which is cool. I mean, I got no problem with what Jackson said, with what Dwayne Wade said, because like he made some tweets saying that they are trying to blackball him and he was really mad too. But those are his boys, right? So if you feel like your boy is going out, not really looking bad, and his name is being tossed around through social media in a bad way, right? You're gonna have his back, right or wrong, if that's your boy. But let's be honest here. The past few teams that Carmelo has played for, he has been hurting them in some type of way. But when it comes to the Houston Rockets, I don't think that he's the main problem. I don't think he's the only problem. But I do think that due to the fact that he's not who he used to be, and that he hasn't really been playing well these past few seasons, they could use him as a scapegoat. And I think that Houston knew, losing their defensive players, right? They knew that they wouldn't be as good as they were last year. So they picked up Carmelo to use him as a scapegoat just in case they kind of start off slow.
Wow, you think they went that low? You think that they would go that low?
Teams, bro, nothing really surprises me nowadays. Now, I want to say that it's for sure that they did that, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did. And to me, that's kind of what it looks like.
Now, let me ask you a question. And I just thought about this. With the addition of Jimmy Butler, and this is going to get real cute, how about you throw Melo in there? Melo, Jimmy Butler, Simmons, and Embiid. What you think?
I think Carmelo could play pretty well next to Simmons if Simmons starts at the point guard and if Fultz comes off of the bench. I think Carmelo coming off of the bench and playing with Ben Simmons would give him another shooter. Carmelo, he wouldn't have to create his own shot. Simmons could get him the shots that he knows Carmelo Anthony needs and that he likes. So, to be honest, the only way that I can see Carmelo still playing in this league and lasting in this league is if he changes his game to only being a spot-up shooter, which he can do, but he's not that.
Melo's more than a spot-up shooter. Melo can post up. Melo can dribble the ball. Melo got a mid-range.
Right. Yeah, he can do that, but that's not what fits today's NBA game, if that makes sense. Like, that kind of slows down the offense. Like, the top teams in the league right now, they win through ball movement. And Carmelo Anthony posting up and doing that old school play style slows down the offense. And now it's a fast-paced game. It's very fast-paced. Back then, it was a slower-paced game, but now the pace has risen. So that whole post-up stuff, that kind of slows down the game, and that's why most teams don't want to take a chance on him, and that's why Houston has been trying to tell him to change up his game some, which he has, but there's some times where he will post up and do the things that he likes to do, and the Houston Rockets, from what I've been told, they don't really like it when he does that. So,
wow,
I don't think no team would.
Imagine like playing in the NBA where posting up is frowned upon, son. That's insane.
Yeah, I know, and that's why Greg Popovich came out and he made a comment not too long ago saying that the way that the game is played right now is not real basketball. So how do you feel about that? I don't know if you were hip that he said that, but he made those comments like last week.
Honestly, I agree with Coach Popovich. This ain't basketball, man. You got everybody shooting three-point shots. I go to the YMCA, everybody shooting three-point shots. Three-point shots, three-point shots. It doesn't matter if you can make them. It doesn't matter if you brick them. Everybody is shooting three-point shots. It's annoying. It's a pest to play with. I mean, I myself, I post up Bullhog, and it's coming to the point where Bullhog, man, it's getting to the point where you can't play basketball. I mean, everybody is just shooting threes, and I guess
shoot threes, you don't have a spot in the league no more, bro. That's what it came down to.
Yeah, but
you gotta give it a shoot threes.
Yeah, but come on, son. It's out of control. So I can see why Coach Popovich said what he said. But moving on to the next topic, and I know you wanted to talk about this, Bullhog. What's wrong with the Celtics, son? What is going on? Now, before you go, Bullhog, let me put my input, because I think we kind of touched on this yesterday, but we didn't think it would be this bad. So let's get to it. Now, honestly, Bullhog, I think the biggest issue the Celtics have, they're not healthy. And I keep saying this, but Gordon Hayward doesn't look good. The man doesn't look good. The man played 30 minutes, scored 7 points. That's unacceptable if you're healthy. But he's not healthy. He just came out of surgery. He's trying to get back at it, and he's probably not in shape. So I'll give Gordon Hayward a pass when it comes to that. As far as Kyrie Irving, man, and you know what's my biggest nightmare about Gordon Hayward, Bullhog? I really hope he doesn't turn into a Charlotte Parsons or whatever his name is. What was his name? Chandler Parsons or whatever? Yeah, Chandler Parsons. I hope that this dude doesn't turn into that, but I do have hope for Gordon, so we'll see what happens. I really do hope Gordon Hayward gets it back together, because I do not want a Chandler Parsons. Anyways, you got Kyrie, who's not 100%, and you got Hayward, who's not 100%. These things take time, and you'll be really, really dumb to believe that they're going to be in championship mode right now. Now, I'm going to tell you this, Bullhog. If they don't get it together really quickly with the addition of Jimmy Butler and the way that the Bucks are playing, and then you got the Raptors, seeding is going to be very important. And yo, man, if Carmelo Anthony goes to the 76ers, I just have a sense that Carmelo Anthony might go to like a 76ers, maybe a Miami Heat team, maybe because of Dwayne Wade. But all I know is that if Carmelo Anthony ends up back in the East and Carmelo Anthony finds his stride, teams are going to be in trouble, and that's including the Celtics. So I think that the Celtics need to get it together sooner than later. But again, being realistic, these guys simply aren't healthy. Now, I know you might say something along the lines like Terry Rozier wants to get traded. He's not incorporated in the lineup correctly. The man wanted to be a starter. So I can hear all of those things, but Brad Stevens is the best coach in the NBA. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what's going on. What do you think is going on, Bullhog?
Well, here's what I think is going on. You got two things. You got Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward coming back from major injuries, right? Hayward had a major injury, pretty much kind of what Paul George had, right? But what people are expecting from Hayward is to bounce back the way Paul George bounced back. But with that kind kind of injury to the leg, right? It's very rare for a player to be fully 100% like he used to be. Now, they saw that happen to Paul George, but Paul George got lucky. That's not something that always happens. So everybody was expecting Hayward to bounce back to that all-star guy. Now, I do think that he would bounce back to a really good player, but I don't think that he will ever be how he was in Utah. Now, I hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening. And right now, it'll be very hard for him to get his feel back with all of this depth on his team. There's too many players that need to score on his roster that want to score. So it's going to be hard for him to get his fills, his touches for the ball. When Jason Tatum, he's trying to become that all-star Jaylen Brown. He wants to be an all-star too, and he has an all-star talent. You also got Terry Rozier off of the bench, Kyrie Irving, obviously Al Horford. So you got a team full of current all-stars and future all-stars. How does Hayward get his feel back for the game with less and less touches than he had last year or in Utah, right? So it's going to be harder for him. Two, the second problem is Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward right now are terrible defenders. The reason why the Celtics were so successful last year was due to defense. And their defense risen when who was out? Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So I feel like that the Celtics were kind of playing a little better when Kyrie Irving and Hayward were hurt. Because one, there's less balls that they have to pass it to. There's less people that need the ball in their hand for their offense to flow. And then their defense was top-notch because you had two players that don't really play great defense on the court.
Yo, I agree 100%. And, bro, I'm going to be 100% honest. I will challenge you on this. And I do want to hear what your take is. You're a guy that's so high on the three-point ball. You're not you're not high on it, but you're a realist. You realize that the NBA is a three-point shooting league. Now, out of your own admission, you said that Paul George and Gordon Hayward aren't the same. Maybe in the obviously they're not the same because you're talking about in terms of injuries. But I will make this argument. Hayward's jump shot is good enough for him to be a Ray Allen in the Boston Celtics, where he can just be a spot-up shooter and just shoot the three and don't worry about driving in. I think Gordon Hayward has that jump shot where he will be able to rock. Now, as far as defense, Gordon Hayward ain't no slouch either. Just as basketball IQ as far as just being able to guard, even though Kobe dropped 60 on his head before he retired. Remember that? But but my point here is this. Well, it's an argument. A lot of people say they let Kobe score 60. I'm not much into conspiracy theories. Anyways, back to the topic. So I think Gordon Hayward would come back to the player that he was simply because he's a three-point shooter. He's not a Dwight Howard. You see, Dwight Howard is a guy that'll never come back because Dwight Howard relied on power, but Gordon Hayward was never a guy that relied on power. Gordon Hayward's a guy that relied on footwork, a guy that relied on his jump shot. So if you're a young man, Bullhog, I mean, what's there to get back that you can't get back? You know what I'm saying? And that's a question I want to ask you. What can't Gordon Hayward get back?
His slashing ability might not be, like, he might not be able to slash as easy as he could pre-injury, and defensively, he did play really good defense, right? I knew that, but now he's not as quick because of that leg injury. So that's one thing that he might have lost, but he could get back over time. So my guess would be probably around like February or March, you might start to see him become more and more quicker, and defensively he will improve. But as of right now, his defense doesn't look good due to that leg.
Oh no, so I was gonna ask you. So again, repeat when you think he'll be back at 100%, or not 100%, but when do you feel like he'll be back to what he used to be?
Yeah, probably around March or February or March, maybe January, but it will take some months, you know? It's going to take some months because he missed quite a bit of time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A full season. So, can you see him playing a Kevin Love type of role for the Celtics Celtics. Like, I know you said Ray Allen, but he can kind of bang some, not too much, but can you see him just becoming a Kevin Love type of role player, and you think that he can accept that role? Because he was used to being a first option. He came to Boston expecting to be the second option, but now he might be like a third or fourth because of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So do you think that he can accept that role of not being the number 2 option maybe because of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown and players that want to emerge into that all-star spot?
Listen, I will say this. Brad Stevens coached Gordon Hayward in college. They have a bond that's inseparable. I will have to say this about Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward doesn't have the body Kevin Love has. Kevin Love has like a big boy toned body. Gordon Hayward seems like he has a lean, straight body to where he can't take too much of a pounding down low because the man's going to get hurt. I mean, he doesn't seem like a power forward type body. He has that small forward type of body. Maybe shooting guard, and that's pushing it. So I don't see him doing the Kevin Love, but he will have to have a role that's reduced. And maybe he'll come back and maybe he'll be special during the playoffs. But right now, I'm underwhelmed. The man has 7 points. And is there any closing statements you want to make, Bullhog, before we move on?
Like I said, defensively, they just have to improve. And I think that until Gordon Hayward becomes fully healthy, they won't be that Celtics team that we're used to seeing. So if they want to win now, they're going to have to reduce his time on the court. But if they want him to get back to being healthy, then you just have to let him play through it, and you might have to risk losing some games that you know that you could win while he's healthy. So those are the 2 things you got to do. You know?
Gotcha. I agree 105%, man. Got to add a little 5% for insurance. Anyways, topic number 3. What's wrong with the Cavs? Now, Bullhog, let me show this doofus Tristan Thompson talking about, I want the fans to see this, man. And I don't want to call you guys fans, but I'm not saying you're fans of the channel. I'm saying you're fans of basketball. So don't get it twisted, because, you know, I'm a humble man here, son. I want you guys to watch this right here.
Until you take us down from that, teams ain't got much to say. Boston, Philly, they ain't got much to say. Boston had home court game 7, lost. Philly, you guys almost got swept. Toronto, we really know that story. So until someone takes us down, there's not much they can really say. Teams ain't got much to say. Boston, Philly, they ain't got much to say. Boston had home court game 7, lost. Philly, you guys almost got swept. Toronto, we really know that story. So until someone takes us down, there's not much they can really say.
Look at Tristan Thompson saying that teams are going to have to knock him out. Did you see that video, Bullhog?
I did see it. Yo, it was hilarious, bro.
Bullhog, you can't make it up, son. You cannot make it up, son.
It was funny. But that's Tristan Thompson, bro. That's Tristan Thompson.
Did you see the guy? Did you see the guy looking at Tristan Thompson?
Yeah, man. Like, he didn't even. Bro, Tristan Thompson. He didn't. There's no way that he believed what he was saying. He had to be trolling, bro. Like, I knew he was trolling, bro. He had to be trolling.
Yo, I'm crying. Yo, bro,
he was being serious. There's no way he was being serious.
Bro, some of the comments you read on my YouTube page be having me crying, bro. You never notice I respond? I'm crying. Son, I'd be in
no. I do.
Bro, I'd be in tears, bro. Tristan Thompson had me crying. For the guys that don't know what I'm talking about, here's what I'm talking about. So anyways, you guys just watched that video, man. Yo, why are the Cavs so sorry? I mean, should they have fired Tyronn Lue? Listen, if you didn't fire Tyronn Lue when he was bombing it with the Cavs in the playoffs and in the regular season, why are you firing the man when LeBron is gone? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, they should have expected to be this bad, but Dan Gilbert is trying to prove that he can win without LeBron James, so that's why he's trying to still play to make that 8th seed or higher. But bro, LeBron James literally carried that franchise on his back. And to me, the way that the Cavs look right now just makes LeBron James look greater for what he did, because he basically carried the worst team in the whole league to the NBA.
Yo, let me ask you a question, Bullhog. And this is an interesting question. Do you believe that LeBron slowed down so much because of what he had to do with the Cavs?
I do. I really do. Because he was the age of 33. In his 15th season, playing the most minutes in the whole league. Kevin Durant, Curry, James Harden, Chris Paul, they wasn't playing that many minutes. Giannis, they wasn't playing as much minutes as he was. LeBron James, 33 years old, in his 15th NBA season, there's no reason why he should be playing the whole entire game with barely any rest, with like 2 minutes of rest the whole entire game. And then some games, like he wouldn't even sit down. He would play the whole game. So to me, he does look like he's slowed down some, and I do think it's due to that. They pretty much ran him into the ground last season.
So
like all he had to do, and he was like the only option on that team. Like K-Love, he was there some games, and some games he wasn't. But LeBron James literally carried that team on his back.
So Bohag, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the Cavalier veterans dissing the little point guard? What's his point guard's name?
Sexton.
Yeah. Everybody's blaming Sexton, and the dude's like 15 years old, dog. Like, wow.
What they're saying is that he has a bad attitude, and J.R. Smith offered to take him underneath his wing and like help him, but Colin Sexton denied that help. So J.R. Smith, like, he's a sensitive dude, so he probably felt some way about that. But Colin Sexton, he's a young dude, so if he has an ego and if he's cocky, don't let that really get to you. I mean, like, he's a little jit, so you can't really let that get to you.
Hold on. He denied J.R. Smith?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now,
so apparently J.R. Smith and I guess some other vets offered him help, and then he blew it off.
But who does he think he is? Like, bro, you need help.
Colin Sexton?
Yeah, like, you need the help of the veterans. See, the narrative just changed. The narrative just changed because to me, I thought he was a little innocent angel, and now you're telling me that.
Bro. Hey, Colin Sexton is cocky, bro. I've been watching him since high school. He's cocky. Dude's arrogant. But he's fun to watch, though. He's really fun to watch. He's arrogant.
I don't know what's so fun to watch about being 1-11. I mean, that brother better get that arrogant ass to get some W's, because the brother ain't good enough to be arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. Of course he's not, bro. But he's a rookie. Kobe was like that, you know, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, but Kobe is Kobe.
It's not really abnormal, you know. And when Kobe first came into the league, like, he wasn't that good either, you know, so.
Yeah, but Kobe came out of high school.
He did come out of high school, right?
I don't know, bro. I see, now that you told me
This is
that.
new generation, bro.
Yeah, this is new generation wild. And you know what's funny? You don't get good like that. You don't become a Hall of Famer like that. You don't deny help. You got to get all the help you can get. You got to be like a sponge, son. I mean, you go into the NBA, you got people that were there before you, and you're going to deny the help. I would have traded that behind the minute I would have heard that, but I would have traded him in secrecy. I wouldn't have told anybody why I'm trading him. I would do something along the lines like, oh, we just want to move in a different direction and get somebody else and trade a Colin Sexton that way. Because to me, Colin Sexton don't look like that guy. So for him to be cocky, that doesn't sit well with me.
You know what? If these players so cocky though, YouTube, the mixtapes, social media, and like he didn't really have a social media, but he had clout from YouTube, and he had a lot of views off of YouTube. So that really got to his head, and it made him think he was better than what he really was, because his handles are very overrated. He can't shoot. He could drive, and he has skill, but he doesn't have IQ, and he plays point guard. And to play point guard, you need to have IQ. He doesn't have IQ right now. That's his problem.
Well, here's the good news. The Cavs might just end up getting, what's this dude's name? Zion Williamson. Yeah. Now, here's the question that one of the supporters asked, and they wanted us to talk about this. Can the Cavs beat Duke in a game right now?
Yeah, I think they can. I can't see a college team that plays other amateur teams being a professional basketball team. No matter how trash the Cavaliers are, they have professional basketball players who've been playing for years. Some young, but they got vets on that team. So, yeah, they're trash, but they lose to NBA teams, like top-notch NBA pro teams. Duke, they don't play pro teams, so you can't really compare the two, and I highly doubt Duke could beat a pro team.
Listen, Tristan Thompson will have 40 rebounds and 40 points, as trash as he is in the NBA. That man will have 40 and 40, son.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They would make Duke look like babies, bro.
Yes, sir. So,
Duke would look like babies.
all right. So on to the next topic.
Mm.
What do
Give us
you
a-
think about OKC, Bullhog? I mean, I'll put my input. OKC looks like a team that's gonna do some damage in the playoffs, maybe advance to the next round, and then get knocked out. I don't see how they can improve any more than that. I mean, I don't want to talk too long on OKC because there's nothing to talk about with OKC. It's always the same story. They do okay in the regular season. Russell Westbrook puts up his numbers, and then what happens, Bullhog? They play in the playoffs, and they underperform. They do advance. I mean, very rarely do you see OKC losing in the first round. I think they lost in the first round last season, but they blamed Carmelo Anthony. But for the most part, they do decent. But that's all they're known for, a decent playoff team. They're not like the Spurs. You see, the Spurs you can never count out. The Spurs at any given moment, they'll explode. But OKC doesn't have that explosion. What do you feel about that?
Depending on who OKC plays, I can see them losing in the first round again, to be honest. But I would say that they would make it to round 2. But if they played a team like the Nuggets or the Spurs in round 1, or maybe even all right, for some reason, I think OKC has a better chance of beating the Warriors than any other team because for some reason they played their hardest playing the Golden State Warriors. Westbrook usually goes off playing the Warriors. Like, he legit goes beast mode. So that's the only team I can see them potentially upsetting, like a really, really small chance, like a 10% chance to win that series, right? But I could honestly see them losing to teams like Denver or the Spurs or just some other top-notch, because for some reason Paul George, he usually folds when the lights get really bright and the pressure is on him. For some reason, like, he doesn't have that dog mindset, and Westbrook can't win all by himself, especially out west. He needs Paul George to show up, and throughout PG's whole career, he hasn't showed me that he could show up. The last time he showed up, kind of, sort of, was back when
against LeBron, right?
Miami Heat. Yeah, but that was years ago, pre-injury. Like, Paul George, he's not the same.
Not only pre-injury, but he didn't have pressure at that point because no one knew who he was.
Exactly, but now he has pressure. Now, like, he's expected to win.
Yeah, and not only that, but at that point, I believe he was coming off the bench for Granger. Granger was the guy. And then that's when Paul George exploded, I think.
Yeah, he was. And then Paul George was playing pretty good for, like, he had a 3-year stretch, right? But he was, like, top-notch. And then he got hurt, and then he fell off after that, you know?
Well, I don't think Paul George...
like, not too much, but, like, he fell off some. Like, he's not who he was then, you know?
Well, I will tell you this. Paul George has, like... I will say this. Paul George is no slouch. The man could shoot the hell out of that ball, man. Paul George reminds me of T-Mac. Think about that for a little bit. The way he shoots the ball, the way he dribbles. A poor man's in his prime. So basically, a poor man's T-Mac when T-Mac was in his prime. Can you see that?
That's a comparison, yeah.
Yeah, like he could shoot the ball and he could catch a dunk.
The thing about Paul George for me is, like, he can shoot that ball, right? But there's just some games where he just randomly goes cold. And when he goes cold, bro. Like, Paul George goes cold.
I don't know who it was, but this man, this man shook Kelly Oubre, and Kelly Oubre wanted to fight him. Remember that?
I don't remember.
I want you to YouTube that, son. Paul George, this man had some Allen Iverson handles at that moment. He shook Kelly Oubre. He just made Kelly Oubre look stupid, and Kelly Oubre pushed him. Yo, what? It was.
I need to check that out.
Yo, son.
I need to check that out.
Yo, that's Instagram worthy, son. Put that on your Instagram ASAP, brother. I'm telling you, that is the best handles I've seen from Paul George, and that's when I said the sky's the limit for Paul George, because the way he shook Kelly Oubre, bro. And Kelly Oubre wanted to fight the man at that. So I respect Paul George. Paul George has my full respect. Now, as you look for the play, or I don't know what you're doing, one of the supporters of the channel, one wanted me to talk about Jimmy Butler and the 76ers. I'll let you start that one off.
All right, cool. I'm looking at the play right now. Was Paul George with OKC?
Yeah, it was when Paul George was. It was when Paul George was playing with OKC. Yes.
Last year. All right, cool. I did see that video. All right. Yeah, I did see that video actually.
Brother
I'm watching it right now.
Yo, brother was moving. You know what? I'ma show it to the. I'ma download the video and you guys will all see the video that I'm talking about.
All right, cool. And then he like moved Oubre too. Like he like what? Like he like taunted him afterwards.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. Yo, yeah, that's lit.
Yeah,
that's lit.
That was like whoa, Paul George.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. So with the whole Jimmy Butler thing, right? I like the move. I don't think he's the best fit with Philly, but they got so much star power on that team that I don't really think that even matters. But defensively, that's a great, like, defensively, Philly is about to be really good, right? But offensively, I don't really see how that fits because Philly needs shooters right now. And Jimmy Butler, he can knock down a three, but he's not a shooter, you know? So the lanes are just too clogged up. There's no spacing on that team. I don't really see how that fits because Ben Simmons, he's like LeBron where he plays best playing with shooters. Coming downhill and finding those lanes, like hitting those wings for three-point shots or like playing in the post and hitting those three-pointers. I mean, those three-point marksmen, right? But Jimmy Butler, man, he don't really fit that squad that well, but they got so much star power that they'll make it work. It might take some time maybe to make it work, but they're going to be fine. So that's a powerhouse. Once they click, they're going to be very scary.
But that's my question to you, Bullhog. Are they going to click? Or is Jimmy Butler going to try to be the chief? And you know what they say, son. You never want a situation where there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can have too many alpha males on one team and it might not work. I can see that, but this ain't the T-Wolves, bro. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, they won't take that, bro. They're not going to take that from Butler. They're no pushovers at all. So I can't see him trying to do them how he did Cat and Wiggins.
Yeah, because
that won't work there.
I don't think Jimmy Butler can guard Embiid the way he was guarding Wiggins.
Of course not. Embiid would eat him up, bro. Embiid's too big, and he has that dog mindset too. So yeah, nah, bro.
I can see a couple of fights in practice though. I can't see that.
Jimmy would take that L, bro. Embiid's like a good 7'2", 280 maybe.
Yeah, but I feel bad. I feel bad for Fultz if he ever misses a free throw.
Fultz, yeah, bro. To be honest, I don't think Fultz fits that team well. And I don't think he should be starting, honestly. He should definitely come off the bench, I feel like.
What happened to him, bro?
Bro, nobody knows. Something happened to his jump shot.
Bro, do you think it's something
mental?
mental?
He could shoot. In college, he could shoot.
Do you think it's mental?
I don't think he's... I don't know, bro. All right, because, like, there was this interview, right? And they asked him something about some player. They asked him what year the certain player came into the league, and he said, I don't remember the exact words, but he said something on the lines of he came into the league in 2003, but, like, this player played, like, 20, 30 years ago. So it really made no sense at all what he said. Like, his basketball knowledge of the history of this game is so trash, bro. So I don't know if he's mental, if he's slow, or if I don't know, bro.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
I really can't tell you.
He doesn't look all there. Or am I bugging?
No. Like if you look.
Oh, bro.
Into his eyes, no homo.
To cut
right?
you off, but bro, to cut you off, doesn't he look traumatized? Like something happened?
No. I'm saying that, like, if you look into his eyes, no homo, it seems like he can, like, he's the kind of dude who would look through you and not at you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he doesn't really seem like he's there. He seems like something kind of happened to him at some point throughout this whole NBA process thing, you know? something had to happen within those, like, something happened that nobody knows about, bro. Because how can you just forget how to shoot?
Yeah, and where's your excitement?
Right?
And where's your excitement? Like, he has no enthusiasm. He looks lost. I don't know what's going on.
I don't want to say he's mental, but there's something going on that we just don't know about, bro. That we just don't know about. That's all I can say.
Could it be a relationship problem?
It could be, but I think something happened with him and the trainers, and they did something to him, and they don't want to say what really happened. But I think they have something to do with all of this that's going on. Like there's something that they're hiding, because they're hiding something,
bro.
And it's obvious.
Bro, you know what's funny? I think that the 76ers messed them up, and they feel guilty for it. So that's why they're sticking with him, because they know they messed them up, and they'll feel guilty just getting rid of somebody they messed up.
But what did they do to mess him up, though?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, because the 76ers have been lying about the status of his play. Like, sometimes they say he's injured, and then other times they say he's not. And then Brian Windhorst was frustrated on the Herd, and he said, if he's injured, say he's injured, and if he's not, say he's not. It's very secretive. I don't know what's going on. It's suspect. But Bullhog,
it's so weird. Yeah. And there's a video that I'm trying to show you of him. So like their last game, it's like he had some kind of spasm on the court, bro. It looks really weird, and I'm trying to find it right now. It's like he had a glitch or something on a court, bro.
Wow.
I'm trying to find it right now. Like, it looked mad weird. I'm really trying to hold up. I think this is all right. Yeah. Hold up. What's your Instagram?
JPen92_.
All right, cool. I sent it to you.
All right, cool. So for the last topic, which is the Lakers NBA Finals, can the Lakers make the NBA Finals? I'm not saying they will. I'm just simply asking you, Bullhog, and you're a LeBron fan. Do you believe there's a chance? And having a chance doesn't mean that you're gonna make it. It just means you have a chance. For example, when you're born, you have a 0.111 chance of making the NBA. I think it's less than that. So, do the Lakers have a chance to make the NBA Finals? I say they have less than 0.50, less than 1%. I say 0.50 chance that they have. I'm not good at math. Is 0.50 half of one? You're better at math than I am. Okay, so I say they have a 0.50 chance, half of 1%, to make the NBA Finals.
0.50, but I mean, well, yeah, technically 0.50, but 0.5. Wait.
Okay, so 0.5. 0.5. They have a 0.5 chance to make the, however way you want to slice it. 0.5, 0.50, 0.5, whatever it is. I say less than 1%. What do you feel about that?
I don't see this Lakers team making the NBA Finals.
Whoa. I want a number. Bullhog.
A percentage?
Yeah.
I give them a 10. I give them
a 10?
10%. Yeah, a 10%.
That's
chance.
pretty high, dog. That's higher than the Rockets.
Pretty low, bro. Like, it's like, I mean, I got what you're saying, but here's why. Because anything can happen, and there has been some surprises, some seasons where teams that we thought would definitely make the NBA Finals didn't make the NBA Finals. Like in 2011, right? That was a year when everybody thought that
the Lakers,
Miami Heat, and the Lakers, they would make it, but somehow the Dallas Mavericks went to the NBA Finals. They swept LA, and then they beat the Miami Heat 4-1. So who saw that coming? You know. So there's just some things that kind of catch people off guard, and so many things happen throughout the season that can affect the outcome of who wins and who makes it where, right? So Curry, man, he's my only concern with the Warriors because he's injury prone, bro. Like, he gets hurt more and more each year, and he's out right now with the injury. I forgot what he had, but he's out for quite some time.
Stephen Curry's soft, man. That man's made out of plastic. You already know that.
Yeah.
So
him and Draymond Green, he's kind of injury prone, and to be honest, he's a very important piece to their team. So if he gets hurt and if he can't play in the playoffs at some point, I can't see them winning if they lose Draymond or Curry. But if they're all healthy, which is a strong chance that they might be, then there's nobody that's beating that squad, bro. They got 5 All-Stars. No Lakers team, no Celtics team, no Denver. Like, no team in the league has a chance to beat the Warriors team if they're all healthy.
DeMarcus Cousins looks a little funny right now. What do you think is going on with him?
I don't think he'll be back to what he used to be because he tore his own Achilles, right? And for him to be that big, 7 feet tall, basically 300 pounds, right? There's no way that he can get back to what he used to be because that's so much weight on that leg, right? So I don't see him being back to what he used to be, but they honestly don't need him, bro. So
now, Bullhog,
Yeah.
I like the cockiness of Steve Kerr where he was like, yeah, DeMarcus Cousins, we won't be able to sign him, so we're going to get him a ring and then he can leave. Like, dang. Like,
because he knows for a fact that it's their season. And he has he's an overrated coach, bro. Steve Kerr don't coach that team, bro. They coach themselves.
Agreed.
Luke Walton led them to 73-9 wins. Luke Walton. So, do you really think Steve Kerr is that great of a coach if Luke Walton coached that team while you were out to 73-9 wins?
Hell, Mike Brown was doing a heck of a lot. Mike Brown was holding it.
But I could coach that team myself, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, bro. Like, he's an overrated coach. They're all cocky because they don't have to work as hard for nothing no more. That whole team is cocky, bro.
I agree. So there you have it. There you have it. Bullhog's gonna finish his last statements, and y'all just make sure to subscribe to my man's channel. Hit the subscribe button on Bullhog. But Bullhog, we're gonna hit our last statements because we're already over the 40-minute mark. I mean, wow, time flies. So if we want this video to go up in an hour, we better wrap up. So, Bullhog, for your closing statement, you said 10% Lakers, chance of them winning it. I said 0.5, 0.5, 0.50 chance of the Lakers winning, which is less than 1%. Yeah. So, that's me. So, in a nutshell, is Melo getting blackballed? We both said no. What's wrong with the Celtics? Well, you're going to have to rewind that after this video is over because we're not going over that. What's wrong with the Cavs? What's not wrong with the Cavs? Can OKC do damage? They'll get knocked out in the first round according to Bullhog. And can Jimmy Butler help the 76ers? As Bullhog said, I called Bullhog Jimmy Butler. But as Bullhog said, you do look like Jimmy Butler, Bullhog. But,
a little bit.
But as Jimmy Butler said, a.k.a. Bullhog, I called you Jimmy Butler again. The 76ers need shooting, and the Lakers, we just discussed it. They're not going to make the NBA Finals.
Yeah, man, that's it, man. And like I said, the most the Lakers will make at this point is maybe the Western Conference Finals, maybe, a big maybe, but nah, bro. They won't make the finals, but all that stuff, man, you heard it. Subscribe to JP's channel. Subscribe to my channel, man. Like this video. Comment your thoughts down below. We'll catch you guys next video, bro. Peace.
Yo, Bullhog, man, I don't get paid for this, son. I don't get paid for this, bruh. Like, this is going to be a lot of editing, son. Y'all got to appreciate this, man. This is behind the scenes stuff.
Bro.
This is behind the scenes. So,
Editing, I got you. I need help with it.
nah, bro, I'll edit this by myself. Yo, Bullhog, by the way, this is going on the video, so, let's keep this PG-13. Golden State Warriors, y'all suck, man. Nobody likes y'all, man. Kevin Durant, we're not fans of yours.
Bro, y'all suck. Listen, bro. I love Curry. I honestly do. I love Clay. Draymond, I don't like too much. I used to love KD until he pulled that move. So now I don't really rock with KD.
Yeah,
and he's from my
Draymond.
hometown too.
Draymond.
He's from my hometown.
Yeah, but Draymond kicks people in the nuts, man. You can't like somebody
Yeah,
like
bro.
that.
I mean, like, he's a player and he's cocky, but like he's not that good to me. So KD, like, he's from my hometown, so I like him, but I'm mad at him. I'm gonna say that.
That makes perfect sense. So anyway, guys, I'm out.